Hey everyone, this is 8-Bit Flashback, and today I'm going to show you how to change your background music for your Super Nintendo Classic Edition. And for this to work, you're going to have hacci 2.21b or higher, or the hacci GUI USB mod installed. So right now playing in the background is a Zelda theme song that was remixed by Bitmo Landscape. And if you're interested in this song, I'll make sure to leave a video link down below. And for this tutorial I'm going to be using Windows 10, so I'm going to start with opening up my hacci 2 folder. And inside there is going to be a user mods folder. Now I'm going to click on the Music Hack HMod folder. And inside here is going to be the original music for the Super Nintendo, and it's going to be labeled Music. So what we're going to do is rename that to Music Original. And the reason I'm doing this is so if I want to revert back to the original music in the future, I can. It'll still be located in the same file, I'll just have to rename it back to Music. Also, from this point, if you don't want any background music at all, you could just install the HMod right now, and that would make it to where there was no music. But in this guide we're going to change the music, so there's a couple more steps. So you're going to need something that can convert your MP3 or M4A or whatever your audio file is to PCM format. And what I like to use is a program called Odyssey. It's completely free and it's easy to use. And of course I'm using Windows, so I'm going to click on the Windows download. And there's two different downloads. One that includes help files that'll help kind of guide you through how to use it, and another one that doesn't have help files. I'm going to select the one without the help files because I'm already familiar with it. Once it's done downloading, I'm going to select Show in Folder, then minimize my internet screen. Now I'm going to drag what I just downloaded to my desktop. I'm going to open it up, and all the contents that are in here I need to put inside of a folder. So I'm going to make a new folder called Odyssey and drag all the contents inside that Odyssey folder. Now I'm going to open up my Odyssey folder, and there's going to be an application called Odyssey. I'm going to double click on that. And I'll get a welcome message and just click OK. Now it's time to drag over whatever audio file you want to use. So I'm going to be using a Zelda theme, so I'm going to open that up and drag this music file over to Odyssey. And there's a lot of different formats you can use. You can use WAV, MP3, M4A, etc. So I got my music file loaded. Now I'm going to go ahead and maximize this so we can see it better. Now I'm going to go ahead and test it and play it and make sure it's a good audio track before I go any further. Alright, so there's no issues with the audio track. It sounds fine. But before we convert, we probably want to shrink it, because what happens is when we convert it to PCM format, it makes the file pretty large. So if you use a full song, it ends up being about 40 megabytes. And unless you've done the USB host mod, 40 megabytes is taking up way too much memory. So what I usually do is cut them down to about a minute to a minute and a half, and that shrinks the file down to 16 megabytes, which is more acceptable. So to trim an area, all we got to do is click that scissor button, but first you have to select the area you want to trim. So what I'm going to do is use about the first minute and a half of the song, and at the minute and a half mark I'm going to try to find a spot in the song where the music starts to die down a little bit. So this is the point where the song's going to stop, so if I pick an area where it's not quite as loud, it'll make more sense for this to be the end point. There's also some settings where you can fade the end of the song and make it get quieter, but that's more advanced stuff and I'm not going to cover that today. Alright, I have the song clipped the way I want it. Now I'm going to click the file button on the top here, go to export, then export audio. Now it's time to find your hacci 2 folder. Mine's located on my desktop, so it's easy to find. So I'm going to go ahead and click on my hacci 2 folder. Then inside there I'm going to click on User Mods. Now I'm going to click on the Music Hack HMod folder. Now this is a spot where it's going to save, so that's where I want it to be. Now I need to rename it down here to Music. And if you don't rename it to Music, it's not going to play and you won't hear anything. Now in the Save as Type box, we need to make sure we select WAV Microsoft Sign 16-bit PCM. So there's multiple formats, but this is the format we want to work on our Super Nintendo. Now we're going to click Save. It's going to bring up another screen and we're just going to click OK. Now if everything went right, we should have a song that's named Music that's going to be located in our Music Hack HMod folder. And there it is, just like it's supposed to be. Now it's time to go ahead and open up the hacci application. Now I'm going to go up to Modules, Install Extra Modules, and then click on Music Hack. Now select OK. Now it's time to plug in our Super Nintendo via the USB cable. Hold that reset button, turn the power on, continue to hold reset for about 4 seconds, then let go. Now it's going to install your HMod, and I'm fast forwarding this, but it usually takes a few minutes. Now we're done, we just click OK. Now we're going to wait about 10 seconds and then power off that Super Nintendo. Now at this point, if you're just using regular hacci 2, you're done. It's time to plug in your Super Nintendo and listen to some music. But if you're using the hacci GUI host mod, there's going to be one more step involved. So you're going to want to locate your hacci GUI folder. Now I'm going to open up the hacci GUI program. So the only thing we have to do here is the memboot. But before we can do that, we have to get our Super Nintendo back into FEL mode. So it's time to plug it in with the USB cable, hold that reset button, turn the power on, continue to hold the reset button for about 4 seconds, then let go. Now we want to click on memboot, then it'll start installing. This will take a few minutes. Once it's done, you'll get an OK message. Wait about 10 seconds, then power your Super Nintendo off. And now at this point, it's time to go ahead and plug it into your TV and give it a test. And I have success. Everything's working just fine. Alright everyone, thanks for watching. If you liked that video, please click that like button. And if you want to hear more from me, please subscribe. And if you want to see any of my other videos, just click any of these links.